into cars, and officers then gave chase. They both ran from the police officers. So for those reasons, Your Honor, them both being on probation, both looking into cars in the casino parking lot, and then ran from the police, I'm asking for a personal bond with a tether. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, looking at, with all due respect, looking into cars is not criminal activity, and they're not charged with fleeing from the police. Both of them understand the importance of coming back to court. Neither of these are assaultive crimes. They understand the importance of coming back. They are innocent until they're proven guilty. And for that reason, I'm asking for a $20,000 on each of these cases.
Thank you. All right, as to both gentlemen, court notes, they both have prior felonies. Most interesting, I think, is Mr. Brooks, who's got prior for carjacking, prior for UDAA. Obviously, that was both of those involved stolen vehicles. What we've got here is alleged possession of burglar tools, specifically the items needed to steal modern day cars. Therefore, as to both defendants, court will set bond at $20,000 personal. You're to have no contact with any Detroit casino, and you'll both be on GPS tether on house arrest. Next court date will be February 18, probable cause conference. February 25, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, gentlemen. You can step aside.
As I said,
And on the right line.
how you doing, sir?
All right, good. What's your name?
Robert Grazicki. Could you talk a little loud because I'm kind of hard of hearing.
All right, I'll try my best.
I can hear you.
25-055-778, State of Michigan versus Robert Michael Grazicki, counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Oh,
You're muted.
excuse me?
Ms. Harris.
Thank you. Christina Harris, on behalf of Robert Grazicki, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and client, Mr. Grazicki, has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Grazicki has an expired CPL, no criminal history I'm aware of, no objection to a personal.
Your Honor, we're asking for a $1,000 personal. He has a CPL that is expired with carrying a concealed weapon offense. He understands the importance of returning, and I'm just asking that he receive his court hearing dates and things in writing, because he stated that he's not able to hear well. Thank you.
Okay, I believe he does get that information in writing before he's released from DDC. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Court will set bond at $2,000 personal. Next court date is a probable cause conference, February 18 in front of Judge Robbins. Preliminary exam, February 25 in front of Judge Jefferson, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Back in the room. Sam, hey, take your hood off. Stand on the black line, state your name.
All right, what's your name? Thank you. This is case 25-055-781, State of Michigan versus Xavier Cameron Lee Sims. Counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris on behalf of Xavier Cameron Lee Sims, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Sims is 18 with no criminal history that I'm aware of. This is non-assaultive. No objection to a personal.
Your Honor, we're asking for a $1,000 personal. He understands the importance of returning and is no threat to the community. Thank you.
Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm at any time. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference, February 24. Preliminary exam, March 3rd, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to start out with some traffic matters where you missed court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes.
First ticket is P1057616, charge of failure to display valid operator's license. P1166431, driving while license not valid and no insurance misdemeanor. P1246661, driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle, no insurance misdemeanor. P1246668, improper plates. P1548611, driving while license suspended in a construction zone, driving unregistered vehicle, no insurance misdemeanor. And ticket P1558279 with a charge of driving while license not valid. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial March 10 in front of Judge Perkins here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is case 25-055-783, State of Michigan versus Kevin Albert Gordon. Counsel.
Samuel A. Reagan for the people, Your Honor.
Christina Harris on behalf of Kevin Gordon, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
A very serious matter. We're asking $50,000 cash surety to give the post bond. We're asking to put together with house arrest. This incident occurred, Your Honor. There was really 4 separate incidents, but the third incident is the one that's of concern. The complaining witness went outside of her house, was leaving, and the defendant drives by in his vehicle. She knows the vehicle. She knows the defendant. She has a baby, I believe, with him. She sees him fire 3 shots out the window of the vehicle. She also sees his brother in the vehicle and a female in the vehicle who she knows as well. She gives a description to the police. 19 minutes later, he's pulled over. The three people in the vehicle, which she identified before, all meet that description. The defendant does. The police, before they had left her residence, or one set of police there, they found 345 caliber spent shells as well. They did do a search of the vehicle. They found the 45 caliber gun underneath the cup holders on the console. The defendant subsequently admitted that he did fire the 3 shots out the window. He said he shot in the air, he said, and he admitted that it was him and that was his gun. The gun was not registered, but the vehicle was registered in his name. Very serious, dangerous matter, Your Honor, firing a gun anytime at anyone. And this is a result from 2 previous altercations over the previous couple of days of this defendant getting an argument with the complaining witness's brother and some other people. So it continued on till he ends up, allegedly does this as well. So I'm asking for a cash bond, Your Honor, and tether with home arrest. Thank you.
What was the number again?
50,000 cash or tether with home arrest.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you. Mr. Gordon is innocent until proven guilty. He is not charged with an assault on anyone. This matter is a weapons discharged from a vehicle. He understands the importance of returning for all court hearings. He has no prior criminal history. He's employed on a full-time basis at a cleaning company, and he has a 2-month-old child that he does care for. So we're asking for a personal bond and no contact with the listed person of who reported this matter. And he has no problem with having no contact with that person. But I'm asking for a $50,000 personal so that he cannot lose his job and that he can continue to care for his 2-month-old child.
What are his work hours?
Mr. Gordon, please state work hours and the days.
Monday through Friday, 5 in the afternoon to 1 a.m. in the morning.
Thank you, sir. All right, sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Court does find, based on the allegations contained in the file and the arguments of counsel, that Mr. Gordon does pose a risk of danger to the witnesses involved here. You will have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. You need to be in the house during those hours. Court will set bond at $10,000 cash or surety. That will give you a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, February 12th in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are probable cause conference, February 24, and preliminary exam, March 3rd, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Ronna, can you try to repeat the curfew hours?
2 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Step right there, my temple. Say your full name.
Money for me.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to start with a couple of traffic matters where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, first ticket is P 1544267 with a charge of driving while license suspended. and ticket P 1616109 with driving while license not valid. These are misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant. Enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial March 10 in front of Judge Williams here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-055-782, State of Michigan versus Lonnie Antoine Foreman. Counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
For the record, Christina Harris on behalf of Lonnie Foreman, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and has been advised of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Objection to a personal in this matter. Thank you.
Your Honor, we're asking for a $5,000 personal. Mr. Foreman understands the importance of returning to court. He has no criminal record, and he's employed on a full-time basis.
Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun at any time. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is February 18, probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins. February 25, preliminary exam in front of Judge Jefferson, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman. Say your full name.
My name is Darrell Hicks.
Thank you, sir. This is case 25-055-784, State of Michigan versus Darrell Ellis Hintz. Counsel.
Emily Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
For the record, Christina Harris on behalf of Darrell Hintz, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Now, if you were going to ask for $25,000 personal bond, but want to ask for a tether with curfew, the defendant is on probation for carrying a concealed weapon from May 28, 2024. Under that plea agreement, he had 2 felony police assault charges dismissed and 1 felony firearm dismissed. But, Your Honor, the probation doesn't end until June of 26. So we believe that a tether would be important in this matter. Hopefully it'll keep him from getting involved in another case while this matter is pending, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing is, can I say?
One moment, please, Mr. Hintz. Please, one moment, please, okay? On behalf of Mr. Hintz, I say that this is, he's charged with fleeing forth. I have no objection to a personal bond in the amount of $10,000. However, it's my argument that a tether will not prohibit him from engaging in other behavior such as this of fleeing a police officer, is that he understands the importance of returning. He is employed on a full-time basis in the auto industry. And for that reason, we're asking for a personal bond without a tether so that he can go to work freely. And with respect to the probation that counsel has argued, that will take care of itself, I believe, but and will proceed properly through this system. However, I don't believe that a tether is appropriate in this matter.
Thank you. Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is February 18, probable cause conference. February 25, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Mr. Hintz, I suggest you make that hearing in front of Judge Giles. He tends to hand out 5-figure cash bonds when you don't show up, so be sure you're there. You can step aside.
Thank you, yeah.
Say your full, say your full name. Jacardi Williams.
Thank you. This is case 25-055-785, State of Michigan versus Jacardi Armand Williams. Counsel.
Samuel A. Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
Christina Harris, on behalf of Jacardi Williams, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Well, Your Honor, the defendant gave two false names. He was walking down the street to the police, and that's about it. He has no priors. I'm going to ask for $2,000 personal bond. Thank you.
I'm
No
sorry, I couldn't hear
objection
the
to
end of what you said. Mr. Ragnar, what was your recommendation?
$2,000 personal bond, no prior records, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No objection to
Sir.
the $2,000 personal bond.
Thank you. Court will set bond at $2,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference, February 18, preliminary exam, February 24, both in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Office West Car, Red Glass,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Looking from the camera. Say your full name.
Gregory Thomas Marshall.
Thank you, sir. We're going to start with some traffic tickets, or I'm sorry, it's a misdemeanor matter where you missed a court date. When you miss that date, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
This will be ticket P 1097790 with a charge of entering a vacant dwelling without owner's permission. It's a misdemeanor charge. Maximum penalty you face is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial March 10 in front of Judge Wagner here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-044-402, State of Michigan versus Gregory Thomas Marshall. Counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris, on behalf of Gregory Marshall, who stands, waive the formal reading, and has been advised of his rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, no objection to a personal and no contact with Family Dollar, please.
We're requesting a $2,000 personal bond and no contact with Family Dollar. We have no objection to that.
Thank you, sir. While this case is pending, you're not to go to any Family Dollar store. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Court will set bond at $1,000 personal. Next court date is a pretrial February 21 in front of Judge Jones here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Magistrate Boyd, that's all I have, Your Honor. We'll meet you this afternoon.
Sounds good. Thank you. Ms. Harris,
Yes, Your Honor.
if you have a minute, can you come in the courtroom, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. We'll see everybody after lunch.
Thank you, Your Honor.